Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the More Than Just a Wedding podcast. I am your host, Jennifer Starr. Today, we have a very special guest joining us, Tyler.
Hi, guys.
Tyler is the owner of Engage Entertainment, and thankfully, gratefully, our team gets to work with him and his team quite often. But I'm also excited to announce this is the first podcast of 2026. And yes, my friends, this had happened sooner than I thought it would, but we are going to enhance the podcast by creating a video version to accommodate the audio version. So you get to see Tyler. I think it's going to humanize the experience a little bit more, and you'll be able to watch the full video should you desire on YouTube. And then you'll be able to continue listening the way that you've been listening previously via audio, whether you listen on, Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you receive your podcasts. So, um, I was just talking to Tyler about, in full transparency, I don't feel ready to do this today. I don't have lighting. My background is hilarious because we are still cleaning up from all of the holiday. We did a lot of hosting and so forth. So there's a whole Santa's workshop behind me right now. But as Tyler encouraged me, when you do something like this, it's more about showing up, it's about the consistency, and it's really about best serving our audience and our clients. So, Tyler, thank you for joining me today.
You're very welcome. Very excited to be here. And what a great time to be able to serve our couples. I'm sure you're seeing it just as much as I am. A lot of people had a little time off during the holidays, and the new year, people are realizing, wow, I really need to start planning my wedding. So between the people who just are getting engaged from the holidays, the people who are realizing they need to plan there's a lot of couples out there really looking for some good information.
Absolutely. And I feel like there's always kind of that, at least we feel it in the industry big time. There's that holiday pause that happens. Um, but once that new year turns the corner, our newly engaged couples are so excited. And our couples that have been planning and now they're in the actual year that they're getting married, they're excited. So, anyways, Tyler and I have known each other for a handful of years. We have similar businesses in that Tyler is the owner, I'm the owner. Tyler has a team, I have a team. So we've had some really great conversations about our businesses, and I think that we share a lot of goals and expectations in how we want to best again, service our clientele. So I'm excited, Tyler, for anyone that may not know you to get to know you a little bit better today.
Me
I'll go
too.
ahead and,
To be a part of it. Yeah.
all right, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. Tyler, please share with us a little bit about your background, kind of where you started professionally and how you ended up where you are today.
Sure. Classically trained in piano when I was younger, jumped into a punk rock band in junior high and early high school to be able to start applying that music theory. Then learned a little bit more about dance music. Grew up in Arizona. I'm born and raised. So in the East Valley, there was a large dance party scene in high school. Started getting involved in that, throwing my own parties. And that grew me literally into the event world, having to learn, how to manage security and marketing and all aspects of an event while also DJing and brought on a few partners in different capacities. Went to ASU again, born and raised Arizona, and
Go
got into
Devils.
yep, absolutely go Devils. And joined the programming and activities board there. Starting playing frats and sororities into the welcome concerts and the basketball games. I did 3 seasons of in-house DJing for ASU basketball, and then 2018, 2019 timeframe. And actually, an old classmate friend from the program activities board who actually manages the Schnepp Farms 3 wedding venues was just saying, Tyler, like, we're getting such crappy DJs coming through here. Can you please start DJing weddings? And at the time, you're in your early 20s and you want to play at bars and get free drinks and chase girls and things. And really that was the time in my life where my friends started getting married. I started realizing that there were couples out there who wanted more than just say a traditional wedding. They wanted to play the music they love, not just playing all the cheesy cha-cha slide and things that sometimes definitely are appropriate and necessary, but realize that there's more out there. And so I started then. Demand picked up very quickly and started bringing on other DJs who had that similar philosophy, had a great background and experience musically, from the art, the musicality of DJing, but then also the professionalism that you need in a wedding environment. And so yeah, it's been almost now 7 years with Engage Entertainment. We have six other DJs on top of myself running running events in Arizona. So
Okay, I did not know all of that. That is very cool. So I have some follow-ups on that.
sure.
So started with piano lessons. Now, was this something that you wanted to do, or were you strongly encouraged to take up a musical instrument?
Yeah, my parents definitely encouraged me to try it. But after a pretty short period of time, they said, if you want to continue this, this is totally up to you. You're more than welcome to or not. And I ended up continuing that from about the age of 7 until I was almost 13. So almost 6 years of formal classical training with music theory included. And that was such a great baseline for what was to come with music involved in my life one way or another.
Wow. Okay. Do you still play?
I do. I jump on every once in a while. Not maybe as good as I was, when I was in full force, but I find it really relaxing. I find it really enjoyable to play, some Disney tune or a Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings, something that I have a passion for as well. So and honestly, now with my 2-year old, it's great to, jump up there with him and let him bang on the keys and get some exposure to some musical instruments for him too.
Yes. And what was the name of your punk rock band in junior high school?
Yeah, reset your mind.
Oh,
I know, it was so much fun. We were
that's
able
very
to
mature.
uh, thank you. It was I don't know who ended up coming up with the name. It was we were able to practice in a back shed of our drummer's parents' place. They already had some music background in their family, so they had a few of the recording equipment, Pro Tools, different software that we used, and it was fun. We're out playing shows at 13. Our dads would come along for a little while until they felt comfortable enough for us to go to these random downtown Phoenix venues that maybe weren't in the best parts of town, but it was a really good experience for me to be in front of crowds and uh, play with other art like instrumentalists. Become a better uh, musician, teaming up with other people too.
And did you play piano in the band?
I did. I played keyboard, synthesizer. I actually ran lighting during our shows as well. We had a few makeshift things I could switch on and off. So
Wow. That's so cool. It reminds me, so Justin and I, my husband,
yeah.
hosted a Halloween party for 12 years consecutively from our first year before we were even married, actually, up until probably like our third kiddo came around, and then we decided, I think that this was a good run for now. But we actually were at a restaurant one night and there was a high school band playing and they were called the Lonely Homies. And we hired them for one of our parties and they were so good.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it was
It's so cool to see, like you can be young but have, so much early talent.
talent and
Yeah.
passion.
Yes.
And
And
then
I
I saw them, ironically, circling back to your story, 2 years later, they performed at Schnepp Farms.
Oh, fun. I love it. What was the
Yeah,
name of the band one more time?
the Lonely Homies.
Oh, I love it. We'll have to
Yeah.
I doubt they're a band anymore, but you never know. We could look them up and see.
Yeah. Do you have any recordings from, Reset Your Mind?
I do, yeah, we have a couple. They used to be, on MySpace back when that was a thing on socials, and
That was the best.
it was a really good platform for bands, especially, and to
Yeah.
market. But I think they've been taken down since. I'm not sure that's even up anymore, but we still have a few of the MP3s, which is fun. had some background vocals on a few of them myself, and just it was really cool to look back. And sometimes we look back at the old things we did and realize, wow, we it was, you can look at and be proud of some of that with what you had.
Oh, for sure. I definitely can find inspiration in myself when I look back up like, "What? How did I do that? Wow, I didn't even know what I was doing." Like, there is inspiration from our youth
It
and
is, and that's just a reminder to make sure you capture that, record it in a way. We have mixes that we record and put online, or or it's a video or a podcast you're on, whatever, to be able to have it and save it forever to go back and be inspired on.
yeah, for sure. And so you said Engage Entertainment is, did you say 6 years old?
Yeah, it's about 6 years old now. Yep.
Wow. And how did you come up with the name Engage?
Yeah, I wanted to find a good play on words. I love, multiple levels of meaning, and that one really stuck between the EE with Engage Entertainment. We are an entertainment company. At the end of the day, we're here to entertain crowds, give them a great experience in whatever environment, and often that is weddings more than anything with us. And it's we as DJs love to engage the crowd. We're working often with engaged couples, and it's sometimes when you're about to start something, you engage it. It's like system engage. So those three
Yeah.
different levels. Thought it was a fun way to put it all together.
No, that's great. Forgive me, I have my little note card right here. Share with us, if you don't mind, Tyler, what does your role look like with your company, Engage Entertainment?
Yeah, good question. So, you come across, I'm sure couples come across, different people they're dealing with in sales or emails. So I am an owner and an operator. So I am both, the owner, and I do, all of our sales consultations with couples, as well as, myself am a DJ on our team as well. And, we have other DJs who as a team, they are their profiles are on our website. Everyone can view all of those, but maybe they're not on the back end side, making sure that contracts are being sent out and invoices and payments are being received, and all the boring stuff, when they can just focus on really getting to know the couples and making the show happen. I do a few extra things as the owner.
Okay. Amazing. And question, I feel like I know the answer, but Tyler, when a couple inquires and interviews with you and they decide they want to go with you, do you assign a specific DJ at the time of their booking?
We do, yeah. So that's something that's a little unique with us. My philosophy is that, like, with the price point that we're at, with the couples that are attracted to us based on our marketing or what other trusted vendors are recommending to us, is that they have a high expectation. They are coming to us because they have been to events where maybe the DJ is lackluster, or they've seen something they really love, and they want to guarantee that they're getting that experience. And so we do a lot of work in putting a lot of information on our profiles of all of our DJs on our website. So then the couples have a lot of information that they can go and do some stalking, some searching themselves, some listening to some example mixes to really know who they want to work with on their day. And therefore, then that DJ is on the contract from the very beginning. So they are with them from, the booking with us until the last song at the wedding. And I think that gives a lot of consistency, continuity is maintained for the couple. A lot of confidence is as well, when they know that, hey, the DJ from Engage, they know what they want. We've been talking with them, whether it's remote because we're doing a destination wedding, or we've went and grabbed coffee or a drink with them ahead of time months ago when we first booked, to know that we can show up and have a great time, and they know what we want. We can just party.
Yeah. And during your sales consultations, do you meet with the couples as well as their prospective DJ?
It really comes down to, I think, the time and availability that the clients have. Um, some clients want to, meet with their DJ. They have the time. There's others who are a little busier schedules. Maybe both are professionals, both working well over 40 hours a week, and really only have time to meet with me. We have that discussion. I'm recording the call, getting a sense of what they really want, and giving them a few options based on who I think would be the best fit and are available. They peruse those. And again, we put so much information on our profiles on our website. Really, it's pretty easy to see the type of personality and vibe that each of the DJs are. But of course, if they want to meet with them as well individually, from a quick FaceTime to all being included on, and they know who they want before that consultation, of course, we'd love to have them be involved in
Yeah.
that as well.
Yeah. Um, so I do the same with our planning team. When we sign the contract, we actually have the planner's name on the contract itself because I do think the nature of what we do and what you do is so personality important.
Yes.
Um, for us, it's a sense of trust, experience, style, and same with you and your team. Um, I think that's really important, and I think that you're investing also in a relationship alongside an experience. So you want to make sure this is someone I'm going to enjoy planning my wedding with, or I'm going to enjoy being the voice of my wedding. It's a really big deal.
I agree. I think that between the planner and the DJ, those are such critical, you know, pre and like even game time decisions being made. There's a lot of planning on both of our ends that we have to do ahead of time, preparation. But then on in the day of, the planner's having a lot of interaction with the couple in the moments, watching, making sure that everything happens as planned. And we as the DJs, we're executing that plan. We are the face of that. We're the guest facing vendors. We're making that announcement about the first dance, the great entrance, the cake cutting, the late night snack, whatever it may be. And yeah, having as couples are building their team, they need to find people that they like and trust, because it ultimately is going to be that personality you're dealing with on some, can be some very stressful moments, whether that's family dynamic related, whether that's, various things out of control, crazy stories that we've all seen and happen, whether that's a spilling on a dress or a guest showing up uninvited, whatever. We've seen it all. And having people that you trust and are cool and calm and collected on the day of can really be a big difference to handle that stuff, maybe without the couple even ever knowing.
Yeah. I always say we are hired to protect your experience.
I love
So
that. That's a great way to put it.
yeah, there's a level of trust that is so necessary to be able to do that. Um, but good feedback.
No.
Taylor, what do you love most about being a wedding DJ?
Oh man. Gosh. I think it's, and I'm going to approach this as a DJ who has done a lot of different things. I've opened for the chain smokers to 13,000 people in a tent, like a huge tent. I've played New Year's Mill Avenue for 30,000 people on their last block party they ever did going into 2016.
Wh-
Um,
Real quick, they're not doing it anymore?
no, they stopped 10 years ago. Can you believe it? It's been 10 years since
No.
block party has stopped doing it. The Fiesta, Fiesta block party. I think it's, yeah, Fiesta Chips or someone sponsored it. Yeah, I cannot believe they stopped doing it. It was such an unbelievable event. Blocking off all of Mill Avenue, having a big stage.
Do you
Um,
know why?
I'm not quite sure. The last year was, pretty intense. I'm sure, Tempe made a decision, in terms of liability or just the sheer work necessary to put on that size scale of an event. Um, but
Yeah.
but yeah, sad to see it go, but glad I could be to have been a part of at least the last one to rein it.
Yeah, no kidding. I've attended that in college a few times. I mean, I'm gonna age myself, but Hootie and the Blowfish performed,
Oh, that's awesome.
to
Holy
which he again told the crowd, "My name is not Hootie."
cow.
But, yeah, that was
I
good
love it.
times.
Yeah, they had Chase Rice play as the headliner country artist going into 2016, and I have a funny story from that one. I show up at 4 o'clock for my call for loading in, getting set up. They had me set up on top of the bank at the time, right on Fifth and Mill, where they had the main stage, and I was supporting the stage between artists. I'd have a few sets of my own for a good dance party, and they had, of course, huge sound systems all across the along the stretch of Mill Avenue. So I show up and I go into the trailer of the producer, and she turns and says, "Hey Tyler, great to see you." Question. So are you okay with ringing in the new year? So background, I did not plan on this. They had Chase Rice and they were going to have him do that, countdown into the new year. And she's like, yeah, listen to his sound check. He's a little awkward on the microphone, which is, surprising. And he's like, I trust you. Can you please, do that? I'm like, sure. Okay. So I, run over to my computer, find, a good countdown track. I'm thinking about, okay, what song am I going to start the new year off with? And then they had me, 11:45, Chase Rice ended his set. I jumped on, played, really hyped up people leading right into the new year, played a great countdown track. They had the countdown set up perfectly timed on all the screens on the main stage, and then we had a great party from there. But it was just such a fun,
What a
surprising moment.
compliment.
Yeah, I agree. It was great, and I've been able to work with her a lot in some other great events as well, moving from there. So it's just sometimes we don't know what's going to happen at an event, especially something like whether it's a wedding or a huge New Year's block party. But you just got to step up to the task and do what needs to be done. The show must go on.
That's right. Do you remember the song you chose after you announced the new year?
It's funny, we were just talking about and realizing that it's been 10 years since, and I can't even remember, honestly. It's I've done so many events and, played so many first dances or grand
Right.
entrances and it's important to, know it made sense in the moment, and then, now it's
Yeah.
there's a whole new set of charts, and, now we have TikTok that has heavily influenced music and reels and all that, so.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. Oh, I think you were in the middle of sharing with us, why you love being a wedding DJ.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, apologies. You
No, I'm
know
the one that took the Mill Avenue segue.
Well, it was a fun one,
Yeah.
but yeah. So after doing all these different events, I think what I like the most about weddings is the level of appreciation that you can get and that connection you get with, a couple, their group of friends, their parents. Um, there's really something unique about weddings. It's one of the most special moments of people's lives. We like to say it's their Super Bowl. They're never going to throw an event of this magnitude, of this scale in terms of importance,
This
probably
expense.
yes, this expense, absolutely, probably for the rest of their lives. And I think there's some value in just the level of how much appreciation people have of, wow, thank you so much for showing up, being there, being professional, playing all the music we love, exceeding our expectations in terms of what we're looking for, and giving us those moments, those times, that safety, that comfort in such a momentous occasion uh, for our day. So I think that is
Yeah.
what I just appreciate the most.
I had a thought when you were saying that. I was thinking, they hire us as their planning team to make it feel smooth and look good. They hire their DJ to make the event cool, to make it not awkward, to make it not stiff, to really bring the party. And that's a lot of responsibility on a person.
Sure, right, and it's a preparation, from all of our experience being in all these different rooms and spaces, and seeing, okay, I'm playing at a bar who I don't even know who's walking through the door, and I need to be able to read those people.
Yeah.
To I played an empty room, and man, how do I still keep up the energy and not quit on this event? And then
Yeah.
eventually, something happens and pops off. But taking all that knowledge and then being able to apply that to a wedding, and make sure that you're right, all of the announcements are smooth. There's no dead air. There is a build from a curation of music to hit like that dance floor that
That
so many people
wow.
are looking for. Right.
Yeah. That energy that you can't even explain. You just have to feel it. It has to
It is.
be.
That's kind of a struggle with us on how to market ourselves too, because
Yeah.
we're busy, mixing and stuff. How do you capture that? How do you capture in the lighting just hitting you in the right way on the dance floor where it's a euphoric feeling? My mind immediately goes to that great reel of I'm trying to remember the name of the actor, but it's
Yes.
just exploded where and it's funny I ended up using that track to ring in the new year this year just because of how
The
popular
guy
it
from
is.
Mad Men.
Exactly, yes,
Yeah.
correct, and I can look it up later, but, I'm sure
Yeah.
someone in comments will be able to shout it out.
Right.
But that's that euphoric feeling of wait, how to capture that moment is so difficult. But I think that reel does a really good job at showing just and
Yeah.
we've all felt it, being on a dance floor that song hits that you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard this in forever. And it's so nostalgic,
Yes.
or it's that's what a popular song right now. What a perfect moment to play that, and you can
Yeah.
just bask in that enjoyment with your friends and family and party the night away.
And music is so personal in that, like, there's so much nostalgia. So if you're in a room with your friends from college and a song is played that reminds you of your college years or your high school years, like, everybody just goes crazy.
Right.
It's
And that is our job, is to make those moments happen. I often we'll all talk with our couples and be like, hey, can you give us some insight into your families and a song that you guys love playing at events, or yeah, who's gonna be there, from college or high school or whatever it is, that, we can hit those, like, the eras when you were in high school or college or anything like that.
Yeah.
Um, to, yes, play songs that you give us, but also, let us do our homework as well and find, songs that might surprise you and be,
Yeah.
make all those fun moments too. Um, I really like to just and that, like, even have the conversation about requests. And some of our couples are very particular about saying, hey, we've done a lot, we've been very involved in music, and we really want to limit requests, or not have them at all. But sometimes, and DJs of course can be, a drunk person coming up requesting the same Justin Bieber song 5 times that you're not going to play because the couple doesn't want it. But we have to be that interface to, some, drunk, maybe have a few too many drinks, people. But sometimes we get a lot of good insight on requests too. Some things that the couple didn't think about. Their best friend comes up. Oh my gosh, Stacy loved this song. We have this moment, and then you play it, and I don't know what the reaction is going to be, but I trust this person after this short, connection, and it just
Right.
is amazing and makes that moment happen.
Yeah. Well, that leads me to my next question. And we get asked this a lot as planners, but Tyler, how does a couple go about choosing the best wedding DJ for them?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think first, the couple needs to have a conversation themselves and talk about what is a priority to them. um, some couples, like, maybe just one of them really is very party hard and the other one is a little more shy, would rather be outside, talking and connecting with their friends and family they haven't seen in a while. Some couples really care about, they want super high energy, fist pumping kind of moments because they have nostalgic moments. They'd love to go to the clubs, in college or when they were a little bit older. So I think first figuring out those priorities and then finding a personality that matches what those priorities are. And I think, the more that you can get exposed to and, of that DJ, the more that you can get a better, as much authenticity from that person as possible. We really try to be, as DJs, when we present ourselves, we don't want to put on a show. We don't, like, in terms of, we're not trying to be that, that like I don't like uh I guess I don't want to say, like, it's just the example that's coming to my mind, but, like, a strip club DJ voice that's just like, oh, that doesn't sound authentic. That doesn't sound like a real person. We want
Right.
to show you who we are because we want to make sure that this is exactly what you're going to get on your wedding day. Um,
Right.
and once you see that authenticity and can connect with that, then you can make that judgment of, okay, this is the style, this is the personality, this is the playing, you know, example mixes they have on their profiles online that we can connect with. And
Right.
I think it's just that balance of what do you like, what do they like making sure that fits, and then going with it.
And also, I imagine this is a little bit of a struggle because how a couple's going to interview you, just like we're doing right now, you on a microphone in front of 150 people is going to present a little differently than
Mm.
how you would present in a virtual meeting. So, is it common that your couples ask for video clips of you at weddings or your team at weddings?
It is, and that's why, we try to do our best to, hire additional videographers to come in and capture some of those moments, get some great internal audio to really get a sense of what that's like from the microphone coming directly into our board, but also the crowd's reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, as much video as possible is ideal.
And that's
Again,
appropriate to request, right, from the couples?
I think it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, I don't know what isn't appropriate to request honestly these days. I mean,
That's right.
this is your wedding and it's a again, we were talking earlier, it can be a challenge for us to be able to capture that. Sometimes whether it's couples wanting to be discreet in terms of not like being able to share, the videos from their personal day, totally understandable.
Mhm.
But also, we are also being a part of, a couple's most important day and to be able to have the opportunity to be able to record that and capture that and share that with other couples can be difficult to get. But when we do, that's where that just gives you so much more additional information from a couple standpoint to make that big decision.
Absolutely, and that you're actually inspiring me to just overall in this year work on getting video coverage of my team throughout the planning process, you know? And you're right, there's some privacy and you always wanna be respectful of your current clients, obviously, because that's of utmost importance, but I do think anytime that you can show your artistry in the form of you actually doing it, it's a pretty powerful thing.
It is, and excuse me, we're really trying to push everybody to remember and bring the equipment to be able to just record a 45-minute full set, unedited, set of a dance floor. Even if, we can't record, ideally, that perspective is over our shoulder, showing our personality, showing our body language, but then also showing the crowd reactions when we're playing certain music. Because, you
Yeah,
know, just a recording of audio doesn't give you the full, understanding of what's going on. Why is a DJ playing what they're playing? Maybe the older crowd is sticking around on the dance floor a little longer. Grandma it gets out of her chair. There's a big cheer, and the DJ's got to shout that out and play, a
yeah,
Elvis track that he knows that she loves because she mentioned it earlier. Um,
yeah.
so it's this understanding of how a DJ is not only just the ability to mix, but then also read the crowd in the moment that ultimately impacts what we're playing. But yeah, we're trying to do that to be able to share more information if a couple is interested. Yeah, some couples don't have the time to watch through a whole 45-minute set, but at least it gives them more raw authenticity of what the DJ's trying to be on a day of.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And this wasn't on my list of questions, but it's one that I wanna know for myself too. Tyler, what are you seeing right now, or what are you offering, or what are couples requesting above and beyond the DJ in terms of wow factor?
Mhm.
Like, I know we went through, a season where sparkler cannons were huge, and now there's all different kinds of things. So what are you loving? What can couples do to really raise that wow factor?
Yeah, and I think it's customization. I think it's again the couple themselves. Hopefully they've gone to a few weddings themselves, have experienced things that they like, they dislike. Now we have social media, to inflood. I feel like Meta knows the exact moment when a couple gets engaged,
Oh,
and
sure.
they start pushing, so much content, ads, whatever.
The
Um,
overwhelm, I sympathize.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it is there. And that's where, first personalities build trusting relationships. And then I think a lot of couples connect with what we share because our ability to, do a lot of cool customization. So, my personal DJ booth, for example, is it's a mirrored, box, if you will, but it's got a two-way mirror in the front with a screen. And I can do a lot with that, a custom monogram, maybe that the couple was using in some stationery on other sections of the event. And so there's continuity there using that same monogram with some additional video effects. So as the couple, or I guess as your guests start to walk into uh, that reception space, they go and wow, look at that DJ booth. It's again, I see that same monogram of the couple, and then we can start adding color and things later once the dance floor starts. Another one is voiceovers. So whether that's a bride who has a few special words to say to their groom right before he's walking down the aisle. So, wedding party walks down, groom walks down, everyone's sat, it's there ready, waiting for that big bridal reveal. But what you hear over the speakers is, a few words from her pre-recorded, maybe with a little light backtrack of some orchestral moment that we can prepare and produce ahead of time. Similarly, with maybe a father-daughter dance where we have the first chorus verse of the song, and then it goes into an instrumental and a recording from the bride who wants to say a few words to her dad and surprise her in that moment. And that's been a really cool, special moment as well. So between that, shortening down of first dance, parent dances, and not just a fade out, but rather we go into a software and actually take out a chorus and a verse, jump right to the end, make it sound as if it meant to be only a 90-second, 2-minute edit of a dance to make it feel like it was intentional, but also feel a little shorter because, a minute up there can feel like an hour to some people when dancing. So, um,
Yeah, no, that's
all of that I think is more customization, and our experience as musicians, having music theory background can apply to those customization things that we offer.
Now, what are your thoughts on, like, the CO2 cannons? Or I was just recently messaging, I believe it was either you or someone from your team about haze.
Yes.
So talk to us about this.
Yeah, so we have a huge passion ourselves for various effects in for events, and that comes with some knowledge background necessary to be able to put those on. Not only have a good effect that guests are really surprised by and wowed by, but also safely. Because some of these effects, whether it's bringing in really heavy CO2 tanks to be able to store them safely and to put off an effect like a CO2 gun that people and for those who aren't aware, CO2 is you're I'm going to get a little nerdy here because I don't know if you know this, Jennifer. I have a bachelor's and a master's in chemical engineering. I was an
Yes.
engineer for 10 years before I left to DJ. And gases, when they go from a highly pressurized state to a less pressurized state, as in maybe out of a gun, they change in temperature. They drop in temperature, and that CO2 then freezes all the water molecules in the air, making a really cool cloud effect that cools down the crowd, but also is a fun effect for a big drop. Also, if you're ever using lasers or for some of our high-powered beam moving heads, you to see that beam of light through the air, you need to be able to have the light diffract off something. And so, some people think of it as fog. Fog is actually a different type of chemical than haze. Haze is basically it's a very light mist that hangs in the air. So that laser or that light can be seen through the air to give us a better effect. And again, from a safety standpoint, we haze is capable of setting off fire alarms for particulate alarms, and we have to work with local municipalities to be able to turn systems into test mode and do all those fun things. We take care of all that, but it's
Did you see my wedding planner, stress tick up a little bit as you're saying that?
right, exactly. And think that to couples may go to festivals and see these effects happen, but they maybe don't understand all the background and work and licensing that needs to go in to
Sure.
be able to put these off correctly. And I think us being able to showcase our experience in that, and the couples who really are willing to invest in making sure that these things are done safely but effectively at their event, comes from uh, event pros like us to be who have the knowledge and background to be able to make sure everyone's involved, have the right permits, et cetera, to be able to have that go off. And we have a lot of couples who do approach us because they know that we have played festivals and other shows and can produce these laser shows safely and effectively because we've all heard the horror stories of some DJ bringing in some illegal laser that isn't set into the correct settings, and the laser hits a photographer's sensor in their lens and breaks their camera. And we don't want any of that. And also, that's not even illegal anyways, or that's not legal anyway. So
Right. Yeah. Yes, knowledge is everything.
It is, right, and yeah,
Experience.
so if you're talking to a DJ and they say, "Oh, we can give you a laser show for, I don't know, $300." It's like, okay, that's those
Yes.
should be red flags to a couple because, um, there's a lot that goes into it, sadly.
Any other red flags that you'd like to share that couples should be mindful of when they're choosing their DJ?
Oh man. I think if you don't feel like the DJ is really showing their authentic self, I think that is going to be a red flag. I think the more content available, the better.
Mhm.
Like I said, it's hard to get that content captured, but it's worth it. And for the DJs who are willing to go above and beyond to be able to show that off and have that available for clients, is really important. So I would say, yeah, if you can't get any content from a DJ, whether that's recorded mix to show their mixing style, or ideally video content of them at a real wedding or them really DJing, that could definitely be a red flag too. If the DJ doesn't have insurance, probably a red flag as well.
Yes, and reviews. Definitely look at reviews. I think in today's digital world of being able to make yourself look really potentially amazing online, in all vendor categories, the reviews are gonna tell it all. So take that deep dive to make sure that you are reading those and also asking for referrals from other vendors and the venues, planners, the DJs, photographers, just you wanna make sure you're getting good feedback all around.
Agreed. It's I love the trend in our wedding industry that we're tagging all the other vendors involved on our social posts because that's such an easy way to see. Okay, who say I booked my venue, who's working there regularly?
Mhm.
Maybe or I've booked my planner. Okay, what DJs or musicians or rental companies or whatever are they working with regularly as well? And that's a great start for couples.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. Tyler, from your perspective, how does working with a planner impact the flow and success of a wedding day?
Oh man, it is everything. When I first started, I had to wear a lot more hats and juggle a lot of things that I didn't necessarily sign up to do. Working at some, more affordable venues without planners and just with the venue coordinator, who is a little more focused, on making sure the things that the venue are providing are allowed, not just all the other vendors that the couple has hired. It
And the
really
family dynamics.
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, the planners have so many more touch points from a personal level with the couple and their families than we do. Just by sheer demand requirements of all the things that the planners are touching. Yeah, it really makes our job a lot easier. It allows us to focus on the things that the couple really hired us to do, focusing on music, focusing on the equipment that we're providing, and a great audio quality coming out of the speakers from whether that's a ceremony or whatever. Um, and it's funny, there's a few of my guys who from our team who have pretty much come to the point where they're like, "Hey, I don't even want a wedding that doesn't have a planner because I've been on the other side and I see how difficult it is. Some of the unspoken expectation that couples may have
Sure,
of a
they don't know what they don't know.
Exactly, right, and that's really our job as, professionals to be able to convey that. "Oh, you guys aren't thinking about using a planner. Well, here's some of the things that you might wanna consider." Who is going to be lining up the guests, as their or the wedding party? Who is going to be making sure that all your vendors are showing up on time and providing the things that they actually contractually are agreeing to provide you at the right moments, at the right times? There's a lot to go into productions of weddings, and for couples who are investing a lot on their day, I'm it's something to make sure. What was the phrase that you love to
Uh,
use?
we protect your experience.
Protect your experience. Yes, and it's one thing to protect it contractually or through insurance after the fact, but it's another to make sure that a problem never happens in the first place,
That's
and
right.
that's really what that protection is, by bringing in a planner of especially the quality that JStar brings, and we absolutely love working with your team.
Thank you.
We've really built great relationships with all of your girls, and uh, you know it's great to see the reaction when I have a call with a couple they've already booked with you guys. Maybe you guys referred us, or maybe just by happens chance that they've, are talking with us. And then I'm able to then shortly after the call go and reach out to a few of the DJs, triple confirm availability for that date to present to the couple in my follow up email.
Yeah.
And their response when they say, "Oh, it's a J Star wedding! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited!" Yes, like, and I
Oh,
love, like, anyone from your crew. I won't name any particular names, but we're so happy that that name comes up, and then it's a wedding, an event that we can be excited about from the get go because we know that of that level of quality you guys are going to provide.
thank you. Thank you for saying that.
But it's real, it's honest. Like, that's it's great to see
Appreciate
that
it.
response, and I feel the same way.
Yeah, and for us as well, I mean, during our sales calls, we are always asking, where they're at with their planning. Have they booked their vendor team yet? And I will continue asking, may I kindly ask who you've booked? Because that impacts our job. And if there is someone that's not of someone we've never heard of, or the experience level is just not there, it makes our job a lot harder because we have to essentially carry this vendor. And I'm not just, I mean, everybody starts somewhere and I get that, but when our couples are, if they ever ask, why do all the vendors have preferred lists? It's because they know that just continuity in a well qualified team is just you can produce magic that way.
Right, right. And that magic almost is expected now with us at the quality level that we're running at.
Right.
And if I can't provide that level of quality based on the team that the couple is putting together, whether that's venue or planner or anything else, um, there are absolutely times when we are going to sadly decline working on a certain event because maybe a sound ordinance issue just doesn't allow us to. We hear the couple what their expectation is and what kind of party they want to throw, and we know based on our experience, or that we just can't provide that. And it's very true that we will not work sadly at certain venues that set those restrictions, certain planning companies that work operate a certain way. And it's really honestly in the interest of what quality level we're going to provide,
Yeah.
because people will see us experience that experience and then share that with others. It's a small world, in many ways, and
Yeah.
we want to be able to protect that.
Yes. Wonderful. Um, Tyler, how can couples find you if they would like to learn more about you, potentially working with you and your team?
Absolutely. So you'll see our name tagged on all sorts of posts all over socials, because we're a part of so many events every year in Arizona. If they want to, ideally, go to our website, fill out our contact form, engage entertainmentaz.com, and fill out that contact form. We'll be texting, emailing you right away uh, to give you all the information you need to review, look at our personal Instagrams, look at our profiles on our website, see if that is the type of experience and results that you're looking for in your day. And then set up a call. We'd love to talk and learn more about what you're looking for, that your guys' personalities, and what we're able to provide and how we can do that, and if we're available for their day. So
Amazing. And I know you and I, as the owners, have a wedding together in April at the Royal Palms.
we do. I'm so excited.
Me
Yeah,
too.
it's great to we we don't we only have so many days on our calendar, can only do so many weddings a year, and it's great to be able to connect, even if it takes a year or two for every individual to be there. I've seen you at plenty of weddings, maybe where you're not like you're there to pop in to help or assist or run something to one of the girls, which I love to see.
Right.
But yeah, I'm really excited, and what a great space like Royal Palms. It's
Oh,
a
beautiful.
beautiful venue with so many rooms and spaces and versatility. Always great to work there as well.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it. Really
Me
sweet
too.
couple, too.
Yep.
Um, Tyler, I like to close each episode by asking one question, and you can answer it however it feels natural to you. But The name of this podcast is More Than Just a Wedding. And so I ask you, what does that term, more than just a wedding, mean to you?
Your wedding. It's your wedding, so you can play the music you want to play, use the color palettes you want to use, invite the people that you want. At the end of the day, your wedding day is going to come and go, but this marriage that you are, starting, this family you're starting, is going to last. And that's what everyone there is to celebrate. So I say, throw out the traditions that you don't care about. Play the music that you want to play. Invite the people that you truly care about and want to build those lasting relationships with, because it's your wedding. So that customization I talked about, I mean, that's really what I see as more than just you know any wedding. That's a great question. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. All right. Well, everyone, thank you for joining our first episode in 2026 of this podcast. Thank you for your willingness to watch this podcast evolve and grow as we've taken it to video for the very first time. Tyler, thank you for your willingness. And everyone, enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this information today. Thank you so much.